You've committed no crime. All of a sudden, the police jumps out, assaults you, takes off your top. You're a woman, takes off your top, exposes your top, no clothes on, and leaves you there, and then lies on you, charges you with felonies, disrupts your entire life, and it was all a lie. That's exactly what happened. Put up the young lady, Trinity Clark. A Knoxville police officer continuously lied to other cops in his effort to keep this woman in jail and to keep criminal charges applied. She's 21 years of age, student from Tennessee State, was studying to become an occupational therapist. As she was driving home from a friend's house, she passed a Knoxville police officer. His name is Joseph Charles Roberts, who was standing by another car he had just pulled over. Put up his picture. Sorry piece of scum. According to him, she almost clipped him with her car. First lie, never happened. And jumped in his cruiser and began pursuing Miss Clark at a very high rate of speed without his lights on. Now let's put up a picture. This is the vehicle driven by Miss Trinity Clark, okay? By the time he pulled up behind her car, Miss Clark was already getting out of her car and entering her home. He yelled at her as he approached her, but she did not come near him because she felt unsafe. This guy's out of control, okay? She was afraid. Without explaining what he wanted, Officer Roberts grabbed Miss Clark's arm, took her to the ground. Miss Clark was wearing only a sports bra and shorts. It was 93 degrees that day, and her sports bra came off as he tussled with her. Now you think something like this happens, right? Sports bra comes off the lady, and all right, you're a decent person, right? You're going to make sure she is able to cover up. He didn't do that. Clark kicked and screamed. Officer Roberts later alleged she punched him in the face, not on the video. Another lie. About a minute later, another officer arrived and Clark was handcuffed, face down and topless. 7 officers are on the scene as Clark is held down, still topless, before one of the officers finally gives her a shirt. Immediately after Clark was detained, Officer Robert began to tell lies, okay? Here's what he said. These are the lies we have on the record. False statements include, Roberts wrote Clark turned on East 5th Avenue at a high rate of speed, causing the tires to squawk. This is false. She turned, but the tires did not squeal, according to the available video. Lie number 2. Roberts wrote, I proceeded to catch up with the vehicle. This is false. He never caught up to the vehicle until it stopped on Linden Avenue. That's when she got out to go into the house. Roberts wrote, once I got behind the vehicle, again, this is false. He was never close enough to the vehicle until it stopped on Linden. Another lie. Roberts wrote, the car accelerated. This is false. All right. This is not what happened from the vantage point of the camera. Another lie. Roberts wrote, the vehicle was actively fleeing officers. Another falsehood. Roberts never turned on his emergency equipment, which is against department policy. All right. If he would have done that, she would have known she's being pursued. He did not. Next lie. Roberts wrote, he had his emergency lights turned on when Clark got out of her vehicle. False. Completely a lie. Clark was already out of her car, parked on Linden Avenue by the time he pulled up, and then he turned on his lights. Roberts also said family members swarmed him as he began to detain Clark. Police and prosecutors saddled her with 6 criminal charges, including a felony charge for evading arrest. This is flipping somebody's whole world upside down, a college student. Let's put up a picture of the judge who saved the day. We're gonna give this judge his props. The truth was on her side, so was this judge. His name is Tony Stansberry. Judge Stansberry dismissed every damn charge, tossed out the entire case during a preliminary hearing. His response was, and I quote, "I just don't see the probable cause," he said, according to the audio of the hearing reviewed by Knox News. The judge went on to say, "To me, this is disturbing. I'm going to dismiss everything. Everything is dismissed." He hits the gavel, tells them to get the hell out the courtroom. He knew exactly what this was. You got some woke judges on the bench, not falling for it. Let's talk about the cops who allowed this to happen, because initially this was investigated and reviewed by the police. Let's put their pictures up, all of them. 3 of Robert's supervisors reviewed the camera footage as part of their standard use of force review. And their only complaint was that Roberts should not have used foul language. That was it. They said that was it. The only thing he did wrong, he should not have used profanity. Who do we have here? We have Lieutenant James Burrell, Sergeant James Cox, and Captain Susan Coker, okay? Have they been charged with anything? No. Did they violate their oath here? Yes. What about the initial officer who told all these lies? That's a violation of oath. That's falsification of official documents. There's a bunch here. They all deserve to be locked up, every single one of them. So not only do we highlight this for the sake of making sure you are aware of who these individuals are, because we know the systems that protect them will allow them to pass to the next jurisdiction and have rank and have authority and be able to engage in the same level of corruption, if not more. But we provide true reflection and exposure here. All right, thoughts?
This is so personal to me. She's 3 years younger than me. I have a little sister who's 21 years old, and the level of dehumanization they put Miss Clark through is absolutely disgusting. And that judge was absolutely correct. That was disturbing to watch. And it also just like, what's the point of having body cam footage if you're not going to review it in an objective way and serve justice to the victims of your own police department? That was it. They all deserve, like you said, to be locked up, have the jail thrown over their heads. And this officer who's initiated this entire interaction, he has a history of lying and abusive behavior. Right. And the fact that the only problem they saw was that he used foul language and not all the other lies, all the other misuse of violence and force. Like, oh my God, like that police department has a culture of that. The fact that he got away with it, they have a culture of lying, a culture of violence, a culture of victimizing victims. And so, yeah, it's completely disgusting. I hope that there is more justice given to Miss Clark. I hope that they have a federal review of that entire police department, because it makes it makes sense. We know why they got away with it, but if we are looking at the humanity of people, if we are saying that this system is supposed to protect people, that is definitely not protecting people, and they need a federal review of that entire police department.
We have a public safety crisis in America. And we think we have a solution in policing. Policing was never the goal. The goal was public safety. That's really the goal for virtually every community. The goal is public safety. But somehow we have allowed policing to hijack the goal of public safety to where now everybody's talking about police. Well, the goal is public safety. And if you have a police division that's actually creating public issues, and they are the ones committing public crimes and victimizing the public, then they become the criminals, and you have to come up with a new public safety model.